And welcome back to the CECC 2023 Finals here, presented by McDonald's of North Texas. We're about to jump into our first Super Smash Bros. Ultimate match of the entire event. I know Miles is pumped. I'm pumped as well. And we do have a very intriguing, exciting, interesting matchup. It's Winthrop versus Northwood. Now, I know, Miles, you've been following along the path. Can you kind of give us the journey of the teams to make it here to the finals?
Now, Northwood is a storied legacy. They've just kept getting better and better and better to where the person who was their clutch carry anchor 2 years ago is now arguably like still on the main roster, but doesn't need to carry anymore because everyone else is so amazing. Copel in particular has been a very precise, very technical K-Rule player that has struck fear into everyone, including our #1 seed, Fisher College. In the finals of ECAC in the fall, we saw for the first time Fisher drop not one, but 2 crew battles going up to a last stock match against Northwood. Fisher closed it out, obviously, they're goated, but Northwood had Fisher up against the wall. Winthrop University, on the other hand, qualified through the LCQ, running through a lot of people, a lot of big names, including some names that are here today. I mean, it was unbelievable when I checked the bracket and I'm like, wait, Winthrop is still going? They're still going? Then I did my digging on them and I understood why. Incredible players, deadly players, and we'll get more into talking to them in a bit.
Well, I mean, actually, I want to talk about the players specifically. You know,
Yeah?
I also believe that collegiate esports, collegiate Super Smash Brothers is like such a viable path for Smash Pros. Can you speak a little bit about that and how we have such amazing rosters competing today?
Yes. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a game where the community and the collegiate are a little bit divided. But a lot of these collegiate players are people who are getting opportunities to go from one region to another, where they're in a new land, and all of a sudden they are finding ways to make that work. But they're not alone, they're with a team, and so these teams are going to local tournaments together. They're grinding against each other, they're grinding against the local talent, they're combining their playstyle from wherever their hometown is with the playstyle of this new place. That's the story of many rosters, Northwood in particular, but also Winthrop.
Interestingly enough, so I don't want to say compositions, what characters, what fighters are we expected to see coming through on these crew battles?
So, Winthrop University, one of the more deadly players they have is No Tag on the Mario. And Mario, a lot of people know him, he's the jack of all trades, and there's a reason for that. He can do literally everything, and by everything, I mean he can kind of just end your stock, end your life, out of nowhere. Mario in particular excels for being an all-around brawler, a grappler, and that is a very scary thing to contend with, because if you get hit from the air, you're in trouble. If you hit from the ground, you're in trouble. If you're grabbed, you're trouble. And, well, that all-around threat is what makes No Tag so scary to play against.
Now, I want to talk about one character in general, someone who has been a bit of a controversial figure here in the Super Smash Bros. Scene. It's Steve. Is Steve allowed here, Artie?
Why would we allow Steve? Miles, would you care to just elaborate on why Steve is a little bit busted? But also note that when I discussed this with Miles earlier, he said that while Steve seems busted, no one successfully pulled off the texts that are discussed that make him busted. So theoretically, I don't think he should be banned. Miles' words, not mine.
So the reason Steve in particular is such a scary character is because there are literally hundreds of different playstyles that you could end up playing with. You could either be a highly technical Steve, you could be a very positional Steve, you could be a combo-oriented Steve, and many players, including Jake, who was here at the last CECC, demonstrated that you don't need to be the most insanely technical opponent if you can just stay a little bit ahead of them. And the fact that with base attributes, no advanced techniques, Steve is incredibly powerful. With the advanced techniques, he's exponentially more powerful. And with the hypothetical techniques that no one has even pulled off in tournament yet, he is maybe unbeatable. there is, it's understandable why there's a lot of debate over the bans right now.
You know, I say let the kids have fun, right? That's what esports, collegiate esports is all about. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe someone could debate that against me. But what we're going into, for those who aren't familiar with Collegiate Smash, is crew battles. So that means it's going to be 2 teams of 4 all competing, sharing a stock pool. And when you have a team like that where it's not exactly communication, not exactly working together, Chicks, I want to know how individuals going against each other in a 1v1 scenario, how does that translate potentially to a team environment? How do you work together on that?
Yeah, I think it's building up whoever you have as either the leading player, being the most strong, or Miles has mentioned a little bit, having an anchor on the team, and understanding how you compile, you know, player to player. Are you having that strongest player out first, or are you going to kind of wait, feel out the team one-on-one? It's an area that I'm not normally used to. I'm so used to being on a roster of 5, a roster of 3, but playing individually gives you so much more responsibility. I can't imagine, you know, feeling that anxious that I'm one-on-one right now, and if I lose a life, especially an early one, Miles, we talked about under that 30 or 50% mark, that could be totally detrimental to the rest of the crew battle. So I'm kind of curious if the teams are going to come out hot and heavy, or they're going to kind of lay back, feel out the other team, see who's deciding to play risky or not.
At the end of the day, you know, we still have to get some idea of what we'll expect in the server. Now, me personally, I'll go ahead with my own prediction. It's going to be, I believe, that Northwood is going to take this one. I saw them compete. It's a little bit a while ago, back in the NACE Grand Finals in the fall semester of 2022. It was just an absolute beatdown. There really wasn't any time for their opponents to breathe, and it seemed like a breeze. I want to jump it on to the opposite side of the desk, Miles, and we'll kick it off. What do you think is going to be the end result?
In terms of pure seeding, Winthrop is actually above Northwood, but I have to go with Northwood in my gut. They're tricky, they're precise, but I have been seeing... Northwood has been known for being a little bit inconsistent at times, but they always bring the heat when they need it. They always pull out these clutch plays, these dynamic plays at the very last second. Maybe not the best way to run it in the regular season, where you might drop a match or two, but in the long run, I feel like Northwood has that explosive potential, and I got to go with Northwood here.
Jigsaw, what are you feeling?
You know, I'm normally not one for inconsistent teams. I like to see consistency. I like to see that the team has that vibe, that understanding. And you mentioned them qualifying through the LCQ in Winthrop and having to go through so many phenomenal teams. I'm going to go with the team that smashed through LCQ in Winthrop that has been maybe namely more consistent, the higher seed. Maybe it's the safer pick, but you know what? I like consistency at the end of the day, and they're going to have to play one-on-one, again, consistent match to match.
Artie.
So I grew up on Pokemon as a kid, and during the NACE Grand Finals, I actually got to see Pichu spike King into the ground. I'd never seen a Pichu just obliterate a King K. Rool before, and then additionally, I saw a Pokemon trainer who just needed to get rid of one stock absolutely obliterate Northwood. So I'm sorry, Northwood. I got to go with Winthrop on this one just because I got to root for the underdogs. And if y'all don't pull out any sort of Pokemon-based characters, which, of course, that is just me loving on the Pokemon fandom, you know what? I can't side with you.
And if I can just say, this is maybe one of the best openers we could have, because Winthrop, they're coming into CECC has an unknown, a question mark. They have not been playing in a lot of our leagues. They have not been playing in a lot of the qualifying events. They came in at the last chance qualifier, and that means this is, well, this could set the narrative for the rest of the event. If Winthrop go forward and go on a tear through the best teams, I'm not sure if anyone is going to be quite ready. They might think they are, but, well, Winthrop, it's up to you to show them exactly what you have brought into this venue.
You know, going back to you, Artie, you don't have to feel bad for Northwood. No one has to feel bad for Northwood. They are like such a stacked esports program in general across so many titles. They've gotten W's. If anything, we got to take them down a peg. If anything, they need to be taught a lesson. And I did predict Northwood. I'm still holding on to it, but it's out of spite that I'm predicting them to win.
Respect the Pokemon. That is all I gotta say.
Okay. Well, I mean, if Steve is banned, sure, that's fine. But is there any character you would want to get rid of personally due to your own grudges?
Due to my own grudges, can I ban an entire trope of character?
I would allow that.
All the Fire Emblems. All of them. Bye. Get rid of them.
I think there's too many.
Yes.
We've had enough. Like, can we get Waluigi in the game? Tixa, I'm angry now. I'm fired up, so please take it away.
Take it away. I'm still stuck on Pokemon characters, because once you said that, I was like, I totally relate. I'd like to see a Pokemon character. That is my childhood. I had a lot of cards, probably way too many.
What's the value? What's the total valuation of that collection?
I don't want to say on broadcast. I don't want to out myself, but it's a lot.
Okay. Well, I would say the Pokemon characters in this game have a lot of value too. I mean, we've been seeing incredible performances as of late. I mean, Pikachu was considered by many to be the best character in the game for a while until Steve did pretty much everything he can do but better, but you didn't hear that from me. But the Pokemon characters a lot of the time are explosive. Sometimes literally in the form of Incineroar, sometimes bringing the heat as Charizard, but Ivysaur is scary. Ivysaur terrifies me. Pokemon Trainer in general, I'm not going to say he cheats, but sometimes it feels like the fact that he can adapt to literally any matchup in the game is terrifying. So you were asking about characters to get rid of? That could be one of them.
Well, I think it's time for our saucy predictions for this matchup. You could already read my face. You know I'm going down a ranch. Maybe Pokemon, maybe some barnyard animals about to make this an absolute bonanza. Or at least it's about to get down and dirty in the stables. I think this is going to be an absolute grimy time, and ranch is a signifier of that one.
Well, I think because we've talked about explosive play and we've talked about how my favorite characters are all very explosive, I'm going with the Spicy Buffalo because you got to play a little spicy to win some Smash Bros.
Chixa?
You know, I'm taking one out of your book. Hot mustard.
Hot
We're
mustard.
going for it. We're going for it because I do think this game's going to be hot. You know, Northwood, you mentioned inconsistent, but possibly hot, possibly not. Who knows? Winthrop, maybe a little bit more consistent, going to burn through the bracket. So I think it's going to be a hot one. I got to say, I enjoy this question mark of a sauce.
Yeah, but these two teams, I would say Smash is a game where there is not many clear favorites. I mean, obviously, we think Fisher, who has been dominant for so long, is probably going to take it. But this is the first time where I've looked at a bracket and been completely unsure. So I'm going with Tangy Barbecue because this is the main course. Both of these teams, Northwood has already demonstrated that they have what it takes to take down the #1 seed. And Winthrop, well, they're coming up on their heels. They are coming very close. So both of these teams, serious contenders. This could be a main course event, and that's why barbecue, because, you know, that's the filling part of the meal.
A main course event. Well, let's feast our eyes upon the teams here on the stage as we head over to the stage for the player walkout.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, in Group D of competition for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, please welcome the starting lineups. As the 4 seed, please welcome Winthrop University. CJ Frozen, No Tag, Lunadachi, Tips. And their opponents, the 5 seed, Northwood University. Sensational, SGP, Koppel, Frostbite. Now, welcome back to the stage to facilitate the pre-match showdown, your host, Paulie Hype.
Woo! Let's go! All right. We are here. Welcome back to the CECC. We have a very special matchup next. We have the 4 seed in Winthrop going against the 5th seed in Northwood. Please, representatives, come out to front of stage. All right. You ready? Give me your hand. All right. Give me your hand. All right. Settle down now. All right. All right. So coming up next, any last words to say to your competitor?
Good luck.
Respectable. Respectable. I like that. Last words.
We're always going to be friends after this.
All right, well, step back to your stations. We got to turn up the trash talk if that's the way it's going to go the whole day. But it'll get going. I'm just kidding. It'll get going as the day goes on. All right, good luck, teams. Get in your battle stations, and let's get ready for some Collegiate Esports Commissioner's Cup.
Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome back to the CECC. We're going to be coming to you guys live from here in Arlington, Texas with some exciting Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm excited to be able to present it to you guys. Hope all of you have been well. I am Dara, joined by the one and only incredible, lovely Sai. How you doing today, friend?
I am doing fantastic. I am so happy to be down here for CECC 2023 May Madness presented by McDonald's, North Texas specifically. But all that aside, I'm feeling amazing. I'm actually really excited to see this crew battle because I'm familiar with players on both sides here. The team with Copel and Soken Pop, they're actually from the Midwest, so like I've seen them before. I've seen them in a crew battle setting before. Players of note that I'm excited to see: Soken Pop, easily one of the best Wii Fit trainers in the business, like probably like top 3, I would say. Copel, same camp, like one of the best K-Rule players, I'd say, also top 3. So there's some really good players there. And then I saw Sensational, which is a fantastic throwback. I remember meeting him back in like Smash 4 days. Really good Captain Falcon player. So a lot of good stuff happening with that team. And then you're aware of you said No Tag, right?
Yes, No Tag, the Mario player. That's like immediately the player that jumped out to me. But that is not the player that we will be seeing coming up first. I believe we're going to be starting off with SGP going up against Luna. So you mentioned it before, SGP, fantastic Wii Fit trainer. Luna, if I am not mistaken, that is a Bayonetta. There's a lot of Bayonettas out there named Luna. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that is common, actually. It's really common.
It's fairly common out there. So Luna is indeed the Bayonetta, as we have found out. We're just going to be waiting for them to jump on into the match. This is a really interesting matchup, and one that I actually got to see recently in the form of Bugs versus John Numbers back in New York. She switched over to Bayonetta for specifically the Wii Fit matchup. Bayonetta is somebody that can uniquely go off stage, go so deep against Wii Fit trainer, and just say, hey, you know how you want to go out there with deep breathing? You know how you want to be able to charge up that sun salutation? Bayonetta can make that so difficult for Wii Fit trainer, so it is going to be interesting to see how SGP plays around that.
Yeah, that's going to be huge because like that's definitely Wii Fit's comfort zone. Like not only are they it's almost hard to explain how good they are off stage because the recovery seems so like mundane, but like they're very good in that position and they get a lot of really easy kills from people trying to go out there being like, oh, you're planking, maybe I can get like a free down air or like I can get it like a whatever, and like Wii Fit trainer can steal stocks in that position super easily. So this is going to be really interesting to see how Soken Pop handles that. Now when it comes to on stage, I would give probably the edge to Bayonetta. I feel like at center stage I would be seeing her getting a lot of big punishes with like ABK, which side of shield is going to be really strong. So Soken Pop's definitely got a fight cut out for him. But so far, it's looking pretty even. It seems like Soken Pop is committed to kind of hanging out the corner, kind of zoning a little bit with those soccer balls. But, ooh, Luna is racking up the damage fast.
Oh yeah, damage right about now, like looking super even. And, oh, this is going to be a little bit difficult, right? Coming back onto the stage, you have to avoid heading. It can really deny so many resources from Bayonetta.
By the way, so that punish we just saw right there, Bayonetta's ABK is something that she definitely like lives and dies by, but Soken Pop being able to get a parry into the sweet spot deep breathing up smash is a huge punish. Like she really needs that as a neutral tool to like get a lot of her combo game started and her pressure, but getting a kill for it is very good for Soken Pop. Also, he's only at about 90%, so he's still going to be in here for a while. He should be able to maybe even heal up a little bit if he gets some time, but right now Luna already nearly being lapped in percent and not able to finish that combo either. So So Soka Pop is in a really good spot, and with deep breathing on, Bayonetta's not very heavy. Wii Fit Trainer has extremely slept on kill power. Like some of the scariest knockback in the game.
When you have deep breathing on deck, anything can just about take that stock. Right? You can get an F tilt off the side of a stage at 130%. You can get that F tilt, the one with the deceptively large hitbox, both in front and behind it. Everything that Wii Fit does, she is a walking hitbox, and So Good Pop is looking so good right now. Luna already on the last stock, but this forward not going to be able to do it quite yet. So Good Pop still going to be alive, still getting so much extra credit out of this first stock.
Yes, and with deep breathing back on, Luna at 93%, one mistake will take the stock, but up tilt to back, no! Luna goes for the up air instead. That could have possibly been a kill. I'm not sure if maybe the rage.
That felt like a misinput.
It seemed like a misinput, yeah. That jab from center stage, still not going to do it. If he can find his way back to the stage, he can take the stock, but getting the gratata off stage is going to finally take that first stock off So Good Pop. But he's done incredible work so far.
Yeah, So Good Pop right now. If I'm So Good Pop, I'm chilling. I'm a little bit comfy, right? Luna trying to get something going with the Witch Twist. Not going to be able to convert it into anything too huge quite yet. Looking for that Witch Twist again, but So Good Pop knows how to time those landing aerials on shield, making sure that nothing is too unsafe, forcing out one of those dodges. So Good Pop just going to be keeping Luna stuck in the ledge and catching the jump with the forward already opening off so confidently for Northwood.
Yes, Northwood did fantastic. There's so many key elements that like just set that up and amazing for So Good Pop. So one of the big things we saw, ABKs were getting punished like crazy. Where Bayonettas feel comfortable is like going a little bit above your shield, seeing how you react and trying to get punishes there. We saw parries into sweet spot up smash. We saw that deep breathing forward air closing out that stock. So ABKs and jumps were getting punished insanely. We also saw a lot of free offstage damage from So Good Pop with those sun salutations and the soccer balls. So Bayonetta, in a rare situation, wasn't able to like recover comfortably. So it definitely seemed like Luna was on like a lot of shaky ground trying to figure out A, the matchup, and B, the neutral tools that do work in this matchup. And I think So Good Pop just nailed it. I think So Good Pop had a lot of their homework done and really crushed that first game.
I feel like everybody needs to lose a game to Wii Fit until you're like, oh, wait a second, that's how I play this matchup again. Wii Fit is like such a specific matchup when you compare it to like a lot of the casts when it comes to like the times that you want to go in, the sort of like options that you want to avoid. But right now, if I'm So Good Pop, I'm feeling pretty good. I only lost a single stock in this crew battle format. I'm going to be going on forward, and I believe I did just see No Tag sit down, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and if I recall correctly, No Tag is a very strong Mario player from East Coast, right? Pretty sure. Or maybe MDVA, I'm not 100% sure, but
somewhere out there.
Really good Mario either way. Now, Mario, this could be a character I could see giving So Good Pop some trouble if they're able to get in. Like, once Mario gets a grab, I could see a lot of big combos coming from there. That's an area I thought that So Good Pop was struggling against Luna, but Luna was just kind of getting strays, not big combos. Mario, those combos are a lot more guaranteed. They're a lot easier to land as well. So Good Pop is going to have to be really careful planking at the ledge. Now, with that said, I don't, off the top of my head, know any like huge punishes that No Tag has for So Good Pop being off stage outside of literally just forward air, maybe a dash attack here or there.
Little fireball on occasion just to say, hey, you know what? You can't take too much time off stage. But there is, I believe, a really important tool in this matchup, and that's going to be Flood. Mario's down B in this specific matchup is just going to completely invalidate any sort of really deep breathing stalls because that can immediately result in a stock, or Wii Fit might be so deep off stage that it could result in a very exploitable and linear recovery. So if I am So Good Pop going into this matchup, I'm going to be just like, trying to get back onto stage a little bit faster, but I do believe from what we saw in game one, So Good Pop, he was like getting all up in Luna's face, just pretty aggressive, just always out there, always getting like the big damage stuff out. So maybe not that sort of like stereotypical Wii Fit like passive gameplay.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Because funny you mentioned that. I remember that clip that went viral of Dill. I think Dill was like charging gyro and just got like flooded. It was Squirtle's flood, but same thing. Just like water gun, just straight into the blast zone for stalling off stage, and everyone. Dill, the Pokemon trainer, everyone on Twitter, we were all just like, I didn't know how dangerous that was. So yeah, even if the Flood doesn't like outright kill Wii Fit trainer, that's definitely not a comfortable position.
It just still pushes her back far enough just to be like, hey, I don't know what you're doing out there, buddy, but whatever you're cooking, stop it. Turn it off. So it is indeed going to be No Tag going up against So Good Pop, who's now going to have to forfeit one of those stocks, so one of them will deplete in a second, right?
soon as So Good Pop feels ready. I'm not sure if maybe they're doing a button check, maybe they didn't agree to Yoshi's Island. Not 100% sure, but either way, So Good Pop is going to be coming into this with 2 stocks versus no tags 3. Now, Yoshi's Island is a crazy counter pick. I'm pretty sure in crew battle rules, your opponent just gets to counter pick you straight up. So this stage is
good for
incredibly
no
good
tag.
for Mario.
Yeah, it's Mario. He's going to get a lot of up airs. He's going to get a lot of funny little, ladders and combos all the way up. So you just really got to make sure that you know how to alternate your DI and SDI. Make sure that you never, just making it as difficult as possible for Mario to combo you. But you see no tag rushing up there, charging up that flood. So Good Pop already going to be stuck at the ledge here. And no tag putting on a hefty 33, and he wanted that reset. He wanted that neutral into maybe a 4.
Ooh! Okay. Stage jump. Yo, no tag came to play. No tag is taking no damage.
Look at that flood.
That's exactly what we were saying.
Yep.
It flooded off in the blast zone, making it incredibly uncomfortable for So Good Pop to make it back to the stage. Finally lands a straight hit with just get up attack. But this stage layout is very dangerous. This is really, really rough for So Good Pop. He's got to find something quick.
Yo, no tag is calling out these jumps. That was such a good reset, but no tag maybe not reacting in time, not able to pop out the correct option, but it does not matter. No tag tries to jump out there, going to be immediately halted by that sun salutation. Beautiful ledge trump with the side B into the back air. So Good Pop still going to be able to make it onto the stage, and I love that no tag is respecting those drop down double jump headers. Those are so deceptively safe on shield, but bad DI on the back air is going to result in that second stock gone for So Good Pop.
Yeah, no tag evening things up immediately, and again, taking full advantage of the stage here. We saw earlier we were trying to get those nair resets into the forward air spikes. So not only can I see Mario getting really early kills in the corner where we wants to be, but this exact interaction is what I'm afraid of. Looking for those air dodges. So Good Pop not going to give it to him. Just going to be really patient in that moment, but got to come back. No jump necessarily here, and we've seen some pretty good offstage pressure from no tag as well. So this is looking like a really tough one.
What an anti-air there in the form of Winthrop's up tilt. And again, those panic directional air dodges. So Good Pop popped out another one of those, and no tag just sat there and waited and said, hey, I don't know where you're dodging towards, but I'm still going to be able to punish it. Not going to lie, that was just kind of no tag doing Mario stuff on Yoshi's, and So Good Pop was like really struggling, especially like in disadvantage. No tag was looking good. No tag found all of the openings that he wanted to.
Like, what I love is that no tag could have had combos where, like, if he just tried to force it to make it happen, he could have maybe got her down air, could have maybe got an up B. But we saw 3 different interactions where he was waiting for So Good Pop to give it that air dodge. And then on that last stock, things start to get dicey. You know, you're up at the top blast zone, off the top platform, you're scared, and then you finally do that air dodge, and you can see no tag is like, oh, that's what I wanted, and now you're immediately dead for it.
The only thing more frustrating than just getting like infinite Mario comboed is for Mario just to wait there, and then you just directional air dodge, and then you just like stuck, and you're like, wow, I feel a little bit silly right now. I feel a little bit silly as I have to descend, completely incapable of pressing another option. Then you get hit with something even harder.
Way
no
worse.
Tags resets, just super, super solid.
And that's something that Mario's just so good at, because he's a character that can like frame trap you in the air really well. Because if he does something like up air and like force you to burn your air dodge, there's no lag on that. He's just going to go for that down air. He might go for that up B, you know, anything that it takes. So I definitely think that stage layout helped a lot. We do have our stocks even now, so Northwood and Winthrop are going to be even. But we have Frostbite coming in as Roy. I do remember that Frostbite is a very strong Roy player. So we have ourselves an even matchup here. I feel like Mario against the Swordies is probably about evenish, maybe.
Yeah, it's like this is an interesting matchup. I feel like it kind of goes like either way. Nobody's like, yeah, I confidently like win this one. They're both obviously going to be looking for those big like damage openings, right? So what does Mario want? He wants to get a funny little down throw, right? He maybe wants to get like that super like juicy like falling up hitbox. Roy, any falling hitbox that he has, perhaps a neutral, perhaps a forwarder, anything can combo with Roy. So they're just going to be looking for like that one huge opening, and that's going to be like 50 guaranteed damage each time.
I think both these characters are also very, very explosive to the ledge. We've seen Roy get criminally early stocks when it comes to like sweet spot side B, or also like those jairs around like this 70, 85-ish kind of area. Meanwhile, Mario getting those the fireball reset was fire. No Tag is playing amazing right now. That was incredible situational awareness, and Frostbite better get ready because No Tag is playing flawlessly.
That was kind of cute. That was a cute option to go for. I really respect No Tag for going for that. If he landed it, that would have been the clip. But alas, not going to be able to get it today. Right now, just looking for a way to continue this disadvantage, but Frostbite coming back on with that dash back pivot grab to be able to catch No Tag's landing.
That's what I was talking about, those side Bs in the corner. He was right on the roll away, but was just off on the spacing, wasn't able to find it. And once again, No Tag sniffing out those air dodges, was able to find that sweet spot back here and get that first stock. Only about 80%.
That was a forward throw to a dash attack. I don't know what I just saw. Yeah, I have no other words for it other than exactly what just happened on the screen. But right now, NoTag needs to find a way to be able to escape the ledge, escape the corner, is able to do so successfully and transition this into his own advantage and his own combo. Frostbite is bleeding.
Yeah, he's bleeding bad. And also, we see NoTag has already taken 3 stocks from the Winthrop team by himself, doing fantastic. And still, he's doing a great job of just either hanging out in center stage and being very patient when he does have to make it back to the middle from this pressure from Frostbite in the corner. Like, you're going to see a lot of waiting.
Oh, no.
See that right there?
The misinputted ledge trump. Frostbite wanted to get in there, wanted to maybe get like a ledge trump back in, but it does not matter because the Jug is still going to be able to come out, still going to be able to take out NoTag's first stock that he has been able to get so much mileage out of already. And now there it is. The falling neutral.
He the dare!
He got it. That's all it takes sometimes. That's beautiful.
Honestly, that was the exchange I expected to see from NoTag, but of all the things in Roy's toolkit, I didn't think about that. But that was a great wait on that drift in for that down air. Totally turned the tide around, got NoTag under a lot of pressure. NoTag, I feel like he plays really strong when he's like playing it slow. He's got the opponent like just kind of like waiting for decisions. But right now he's getting rushed down by Frostbite.
Oh yeah, absolutely. NoTag has just been kept at disadvantage for so long, has taken so many hits. That's going to be an F throw for a bit of stage control. That was not a good trade for Frostbite because Frostbite went in a little bit too aggressively, did a double jump forward, ended up just getting sent further off stage without any resources. So now 75-0. Mario needs a really huge opening to be able to get something going. Frostbite went for the 50-50, either to the platform or dropped down below after whiffing the up B, and NoTag just guessed incorrectly.
Yeah, so here we have stocks even, and as I was saying earlier, both of these teams are very— oh my God, the read! No! Frostbite coming in with the hardest read ever. One of the things that really stinks about that is, like, at low level you see it off and you're like, oh, I know they're going for this. At mid level you're never going to see it. At high level it's like, hey, did you remember that this day one thing is a thing? Because if you don't, I'm going to matchup check you real quick and take your stock mad early. That was incredible good play from Frostbite.
It all comes full circle.
Yes.
You know, you just at some point you're like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to pop out this option. If you neutral, get up and you shield, congratulations, buddy. Your shield is broken. If you roll in, I can turn around and still hit you with it. Get up attack. You know what? Sure, if you think it's actually going to be long enough to actually reach me. That is just a very uncomfortable position to be in, especially when you're on your last stock and it's not something that the opponent has established that he's going to do before.
That was an insane read from Frostbite. Good stuff to both players. Like, NoTag was doing so well, but Frostbite got so much momentum with that dare, and I think he just really just kind of kept that steam rolling.
Yeah.
Because, like, that neutral B doesn't happen unless you are in your opponent's head, unless you are actively taking all the momentum and you're in complete control. All that aside, we do still have 7 stocks to 6, so the match is even, and I could definitely see this going down to the wire because both teams are so strong, but this has been a really fantastic start to the bracket. I am so excited to watch this right now.
Yeah, this is actually, to me, this is really exciting because I feel like with a lot of Super Smash Bros. Crew battles, especially a little bit earlier into the bracket, those go by fast. If you have a higher seed against a lower seed, that's like, okay, you know what, you got a top player, he's just going to be able to anchor the team all the way through. In this case, we have a difference of like 1 seed placement, and I feel like this match already is just showing that off. It's going really back and forth already, like some of the best players have been knocked out, being So Good Pop and NoTag, so I am curious to see the rest of this crew battle.
Yeah, I'm really excited here, and honestly, with the momentum Frostbite was riding right there, I think if he like plays it really carefully, I could definitely see himself taking 1 stock, maybe another one, but we're actually going to be running ourselves an honest one here. It looks like we have Lucina versus Roy. These are both fantastic characters.
One. Tell me more about that. Tell me about how Lucina's honest side.
Honest compared to what's happening with the character, you know. This isn't Kazuya. This is like, let me not say honest, because I am a person that very much suffers from Lucina, but I will say
so do I.
This is a Fundies character, if nothing else. It's a simple Fundies character, not really any bad buttons in her toolkit. Honestly, just play a casual spacing game. Her kill power is, again, very slept on, and she's just generally just really solid in most matchups.
That all being said, already Tip's just going to be taking 34% right off the bat. Off stage, Frostbite just heard all that. It's like, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to have any of it whatsoever. Just really hammering down the corner pressure.
Yo? Okay.
That was almost it.
That was almost it. Yeah, if Frostbite jumped in that position right there, totally dead at 32%. But right now, Roy's looking really good. Town and City. Oh, burn that up a little bit early. This might be it.
Yeah, absolutely. Lucina not going to be able to have like enough air speed to get close enough horizontally without popping out the directional air dodge. And that is ample time for Frostbite to go out there and get that hit. A couple of neutralizers. Do do
No.
not. No,
No.
get off that platform. You're on Town and City, and you are fighting Glory. You want nothing to do with that side platform at all. Lucina, get out.
These characters do war crimes on a stage like this. Town and City has a very close horizontal blast zone. Okay, Tip's just going to be able to make it back.
Oh, yeah.
They can kill off the side generally really early. This stage makes it so much worse, but especially those side platforms.
Yeah, it really just allows Glory to cheat sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
There is no better way to say it. So if I'm Lucina, I just want to keep my feet planted on center of the stage. But even then, just Frostbite, just been catching these landings, has been pushing his advantage so well. Already Tip's going to be on the last stock here. Frostbite might be able to get a 3 stock without losing one of their own.
Oh, this could be huge. Okay. Center platform going to save Tips. I definitely thought we were going to see like a huge combo off that whiffed counter, but 50% already here. All the rage on Roy, and they're hanging out in the middle.
Fishing. Frostbite was fishing for the side B on that side platform. Luckily, the Tips was able to land successfully, able to get a side B of their own, and now just going to be juggling with one up here, just going out with a couple of empty jumps as well, maybe trying to mix up Frostbite.
Oh, no.
But you can't whiff those counters.
No. Okay, see? That when I did Rutgers CECC, I said you do not let swords have Town and City. They're both swords, so it's fine. But that egregious kill is 74%, not even off stage, not even on the side platform. That was fantastic from Frostbite. So if you don't know, the hilt of the sword is, of course, where the sweet spot is. So if Roy gets a read like that, that stock is getting obliterated. Frostbite now definitely going to be the MVP for Northwood because he has already taken 6 stocks.
That's a lot of stocks.
That's a lot of stocks.
That's quite a few, I've got to say. Yeah, honestly, a lot of that just kind of came down to, you know, your big option as like Lucina that's like, hey, if you whiff this, it's going to be a huge opening no matter what, and it's up to the opponent to be able to exploit that as much as possible. I mean, Frostbite just took full advantage of that. You cannot whiff your counters. The times that you're really looking for your counters when you're so confident in somebody mashing out of disadvantage, somebody going for like an untrue combo follow-up. I feel like a lot of those counters from Tips, they were a little bit too far back from even a distance where it could cover an option from Roy. It was a little bit too far back, just sort of left themselves vulnerable.
All right, this is a little bit volatile. So we do have Frozen coming in. I know that's a very, very good Snake player, but Swordies against Snake, it can get really volatile. Snake has a very bad disadvantage. I think people initially panicked. Was like, but he has Grenade. It's like, yeah, but if you're patient, it's still pretty bad. Roy can take stocks really early. If Snake is finding himself in disadvantage, we could definitely at least see Frostbite taking 1 more stock before he has to go down. But this is a full 3 stocks from Frozen, and Frozen is one of the best Snakes in the business very quietly. So I'm excited to get into this.
And you can already see this from like CJ Frozen's like movement, right? Just a couple of reverse grenades, a little bit flashy, moving around the stage, dealing 62%, and now looking for that egregious, unholy up tilt. How are we at 93%? I blinked.
Yeah, Frozen's spacing has been immaculate. We saw Frostbite landing away with up air, which is really, really good for the Swordies. It's a huge combo confirmed. But seeing that get punished by like a well-spaced Snake down tilt is crazy. And as you were talking about, everyone's favorite up tilt in the game, that Snake up tilt, gonna take that stock, only landing at around like 110. No question that character was dead. I do think that Frostbite could have held in a little bit better, could have DI'd it a little bit harder, but yeah, that's gonna do it. So Frozen gonna come in, take that stock, and kind of stop a little bit of the bleeding, but we do have ourselves a 3 stock to a 6 stock crew battle situation.
Yeah, but then again, I still feel like you're not out of the woods yet, right? You're fighting against CJ Frozen. This is somebody that I feel like can actually like really confidently like anchor the team. We can already see just like how comfortable he was like with the movement, just being able to maneuver around the stage, just like able to manipulate space, and then just like has all of the combos on deck already ready to go. That's a brutal opponent to go up against. So I'm curious to see like what else Northwood has in store to deal with him.
Yeah, me too. And I would even say that like Roy is already matchup-wise a pretty solid one. So this is going to be sensational coming in with Captain Falcon. Again, very volatile matchup. If Falcon is able to find his groove and get his momentum, Snake dies very early. There's a lot of situations where if you do force Snake to have to recover low with Cypher, a character like Falcon can easily steal stocks with down air and knee.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
Of course, yeah, nice little stomp, nice little down air. That Cypher is just going to be invalidated. In fact, you can even just extend your hitbox on it. So it is going to definitely be up to Snake in this case, right? You want to go for a lot of high recoveries in this specific matchup. You don't really want to go to ledge too much, which I feel like Snake doesn't usually want to do ever.
Yeah, he doesn't have to, but if he does, he's donezo at this point in the meta. Now, I did see that Seth put in a Setharoth tag, so I don't know if Seth is going to, instead of playing Falcon, play Sephiroth. Oh, picking a banger from the Tekken series. Shout out to y'all. All the Tekken music is fantastic. So I'm not sure if Seth is going Falcon or Sephiroth, or if he just likes that name, but both those matchups are honestly pretty solid. So, okay, he is going to be going Falcon. So I think as long as Frozen continues to play passive.
Pun.
It's a cute pun.
Yeah.
As long as as long as Frozen continues to play passive, I think it'll be okay. But any momentum from Seth could be a stock in the blink of an eye.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But then I also feel like, Captain Falcon's like semi-linear recovery can definitely work against him in this matchup when you have to deal with tools like up smash and Nikita and all of the million projectiles that Snake decides to throw at your face off stage. And already CJ Frozen dominating center stage, dealing 41% and just looking for the jump call out with one of these neutralators, whiffing that up B. But Falcon has so many mix-ups in his drift that he can basically make that safe on whiff.
Criminally underrated when we talk about up Bs out of shield. Falcon's horizontal range on that is ridiculous. Thankfully, Frozen was able to space around that really well with down tilt. Down tilt, another really good move for spacing. All right, Seth is finding his footing. He got a double up air, and we saw the air dodge come out from Frozen, and that's good matchup knowledge for him because he knows if Frozen panics, that is a free punish. But speaking of panicking, Frozen finding that up tilt when Seth got for that a little bit egregious down air, trying to catch him on the other platform, and that is going to make this 3 stocks to 5.
Sometimes I forget that you only have one frame of vulnerability after neutral get up, because I just saw Seth sit there and jab and none of those connected despite having the right idea on the ledge option, but that does not matter. CJ Frozen backing off a little bit, grenade in hand, tosses it up smash as well, forcing the jump, and Sethuroff just able to escape the ledge for now.
Yeah, he's cooking, but there it is, the first Cypher of the day. Not going to lead to much. C4's there. I love that trap right there. He landed on C4. He was covering the roll. Almost every option could have been covered from CJ Frozen. Wasn't able to find the punish that he needed, but he's still playing amazing. He's still got control of the center. He's got a ton of rage, so one more up tilt can really start to spell disaster for the Northwood team.
Yeah, nice little dash up shield and into the up B as well. CJ Frozen definitely fishing for the up tilt. Got it called out a little bit, but still the up B did not result in a stock. That dash attack is going to be able to close it out, though. CJ Frozen going to be knocked down to his second stock, but now the question is, how is Sensational going to be able to make up so much damage?
Yeah, we're going to need to see a huge combo. We do see, obviously, the bomb on the left side, so of course we can't see him get too greedy, but we're starting to see those combos come in. I love that.
That's Falcon Brain, baby. That is Falcon Brain. You get one stomp, and instead of being like, I'm going to go through the follow-up, I'm going to do it again and again and again. From melee to ultimate, all Falcons think the same.
My favorite part about that interaction was because CJ Frozen had the grenade to the left, Sensational was able to do a trap that Snake normally does and trap him with his own projectile. And excellent teardrop recovery from Sensational to avoid that Nikita. But the up tilt, once again, going to be the difference maker here. And now we see Winthrop really on the really close to looking like they're going to get a comeback.
Sometimes I forget that Snake's neutralator does as much damage as it does, and then a couple of hits come out, and I was like, that was a little bit more than I was expecting. And Sensational somehow not getting hit by any of those grenades in that entire situation. How do you get this ledge trap? Parrying the Cypher, but then CJ Frozen comes back on with that dash attack, and then...
Unfortunately, the same way every Bayo is going to SD once a set, every Snake is going to blow himself up. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to get that double jump and C4'd himself. So 1 stock left for all of the Winthrop side. Still 4 stocks from Northwood. Seth has to take this stock right now and play completely, Frozen has to play perfectly from here to stay alive in this battle. Oh, nice.
And all of that entire situation, that entire disadvantage was all because Sethuroff kind of misjudged the distance or maybe the timing on that down air. He came on and he was like, I really want to get the stomp. I really want to get this down air off. And then the Nikita still ended up hitting him afterwards after he was stuck in all of that hit lag from hitting Snake. It was a little bit greedy. He ended up eating the Nikita and then getting put into disadvantage. Being sent off stage was just a sitting duck for, you know what, you can make it back once or twice with enough recovery mix-ups with up B. But then CJ Frozen, you guessed right once. That's all that you need to actually close out that stock. So CJ Frozen played that super well. Definitely the player that I'm like, yeah, this guy can take 3 stocks. This is somebody who is absolutely capable of it. It's going to be a lot of work, but this is still really doable for both schools.
It is definitely doable for both schools. Now, coming in against Frozen, I see Kopel, as I said earlier, one of the best K rules in the business. So let's talk about survivability. Frozen was doing an amazing job there. We saw Frozen live to nearly 200% of that first stock. It is 1 stock to 3. Frozen has to take 3 K-roll stocks, which, of course, you can rack up that damage quickly. I can see Nikita being a huge problem for K-roll's recovery. It's almost laughably one of the hardest recoveries to make as K-roll because Nikita just stops everything out. But he is a very heavy character, and it is very easy for K-roll to sneak a stock out.
Sometimes he just gets a stock.
He just gets one, yeah.
Sometimes, the heavyweight, the super heavy, the grappler, they get that one funny little lead, and you're like, I just lost my stock at 70%, and I just have to hold that.
Just got to hold that L. Especially, down throw is a huge difference maker in this matchup. Of course, down throw to up tilt is really good. Neutral air can armor through a whole lot of stuff. Dash attack is very scary. CJ Frozen wants to be able to set up. He wants to be able to have his zone of projectiles and explosions just hang out in there. But K-roll, Crown, pretty good at like counter zoning, honestly. Like it's not like the best projectile in the game, but it's definitely good enough to like take you out of your comfort zone and make you change what you're doing. And honestly, that's most of what you need out of projectile.
It forces you to make a decision.
Yes.
And that is going to be a lot of Copel's just sort of like game plan going into this. Get close enough to Snake where you can force him to do something that's not setting up with other grenades. But Copel just seems to be so comfortable navigating these grenades, using a lot of his own crowns as well. Now just backing off a little bit, that's a King K rule on a platform looking for the downer. He wants nothing good. He wants nothing ethical at all. He wants that downer into an up smasher, something silly.
Yeah, there's so many unique ways K-Rool can kill Snake too. Snake is actually really susceptible to dying to K-Rool copter off the top. There's a lot of positions where Snake's like, oh, I'll just recover high, but K-Rool's like, I triple dog dare you to do that.
Do it, buddy. Yeah, go high.
Like we might see right now. Okay, good patience from Copel. Could have gone for it, but that should. Oh my God! Not only was the up throw going to kill anyway, but the grenade giving us the kill sparks to make it even flashier was so sick to watch.
It was unneeded. It was unnecessary, but hey, it looked really cool.
It looked sick. It looked like a Street Fighter like ultimate. That was fantastic. So yeah, that is going to do it for our first match there. I think we saw some really talented players on both sides. I think Frozen did amazing. But Frostbite, I would have to say he was Northwood's MVP because I think he took, what was it, 6 stocks right there?
Yeah, something along those lines. Frostbite played really good. Everybody on that team, they played excellent, honestly. That is a brutal team to go up against. So you have Copel, you have the King K goal. I mean, we really like saw like in his movement, in the way that they were just sort of like dominating space, that is somebody to be reckoned with. Of course, like So Good Pop, like opening off, was also really, really scary. Frostbite as well. Yeah, so honestly, that could have gone either way, but at the end, 3-1 stock differential is a little bit like too much to make up from.
Yeah, that's just a tough day, especially against a heavy like K-Rool, like I said. But Northwood, honestly, not only do they have a team of very strong players, there are some weird matchup checks in there too. And in a crew battle setting, that is perfect. Because if you have 3 stocks to figure out what Wii Fit Trainer does, you're going to lose one of them to something. You know, you're going to get hit with something. You're going to figure out how strong that deep breathing back area is, or even K-Rool. You're going to find out like how good dash attack can be. Or, you know, down smash is going to low profile something. There's so many wacky ways those characters can like steal stocks, and those are matchups that you just can't practice because they're just not very common. So I think Northwood played amazing. I think honestly both teams played fantastic. We saw some really good stuff from No Tag. I would be terrified to fight No Tag in singles. I think his patience is really good. His situational awareness is really good.
I mean, you just saw like how ready he was to like adapt to like So Good Pop's like disadvantage options from the single game, the one game that the two of them had together. The amount of times that he was so confident, just being like, "Hey, I'm gonna wait. Oh, what's that? An air dodge? Oh, buddy, it's over for you." That happened multiple times. But yeah, honestly, this does come back to like, hey, if this is a crew battle format and you only got like 1 game or 2, set play and adaptation is overrated. Go for the gimmicks. Go for the cheese. Go for the funny little stuff. This is what this kind of a format can often entertain a little bit more than traditional singles. But I do believe this is a best of 3 crew battle, isn't it?
Fantastic, even better. And I think one thing that's worth noting, when you go for that crazy stuff, not only are you going to like surprise and get like a stock, it's not a full like 2 out of 3 set, so they don't even have time to adapt to it for later. It only needs to work once because there's only those 3 stocks to take. So I do think Northwood is in a good spot here. Now, for the next rematch, one thing that I think was challenging was Luna going up against So Good Pop. I feel like Bayonetta, pretty solid crew battle character, I would say, honestly. I honestly think that character's top 15, top 20 anyway at this point. But some of that bias because I live in Geist region, so I have been through hell.
You've been put through like the guys, like, you know, everything that Geist throws at you. You're like, wow, I really just got hit by that and I could not play the game. You just got blended.
There's so many things where like I see Bayo get a single hit, I'm like, oh, they're dead. Like I'm just so used to seeing Geist confirm off like everything. So I'm very Bayonetta biased, but
we did not see that same level of advantage state from Luna. It just felt like So Good Pop was never really hit by like those really big openings, especially with the way that So Good Pop like managed landing on shield. It was just like really safe, sitting in shield, never getting hit by like a witch twist out of shield, and just so comfortable in calling out ABK, Bayonetta side B. If you can call it out, fantastic. You have a handle on like a good chunk of that matchup. If you're getting hit by ABKs, Bayonetta's going to get a lot of delicious little combo starters and take you all the way up the top.
Fully agreed. I think at this point, if they do end up having to run it back, I'm not sure if they're going to start off the exact same way. I think you're going to have to do something to get them out of their comfort zone when it comes to just shielding. Even if you don't get like your optimal combo confirms from throws with Bayo, and she has plenty, but if you're not getting exactly what you want, as long as you're making sure that they're uncomfortable with shielding, because like if you're hanging out and shielding, you're just waiting for like either heal side or ABK to punish, and it's not coming, or if it's getting punished and you don't have to worry about it, that's a lot of her game plan. You know what she's gonna do? Dash attack you? You don't care
She's
about
gonna
that.
grab. She's gonna
She has
dash
to
up and
grab.
grab, and then they try to figure out like the funny little like, aha, I will read an air dodge after I get like a down throw or something, and then I'm gonna get an up tilt, and then I'm gonna get something. But that is like a lot of like levels of play. You just have to establish that you know the distances to shield, and you have to be cognizant of her openings. You have to be cognizant of not just the options that are the counter play, but the options that you are mixing up between. If you stick just to shielding, you know, every single Bayonetta in the universe will know how to be able to capitalize off of up throws and down throws alike. So it is going to be, of course, So Good Pop, and they will be going up against
A Sephiroth. Okay. Now, this could be really interesting because this is a character that can kind of control space. I feel like Sephiroth maybe won't be off stage with you, but they can make the ledge a nightmare when it comes to moves like, honestly, down smash, even up B, neutral B if you have enough time. So it's another thing where like Wii Fit Trainer can't be like completely comfortable, but I feel like Advantage State is going to be really, really powerful for So Good Pop because Sephiroth definitely struggles against getting out of disadvantage, and Wii Fit has very funky, weird combos.
Speaking of a funky weird combo, that was absolutely one of them. That was a down air into an up air, then all of a sudden Luna is at 100%. Please slow this down. Luna just needs to find a way to be able to get into that uncomfortable mid-range with SGP so that, you know, they can start doing Sephiroth things, which is pressure you, threaten always with a forward air or a back air, or just maybe run up and get like a down throw or something. But So Good Pop is just dominating the neutral, looking for that second hit of the header, forces a low recovery, and the down tilt almost actually connects, but Luna luckily a little bit too far back to the side and avoids the down tilt that would have killed.
Yeah, that was incredibly smart. And the self-pass to yourself, the off the easy from So Good Pop, getting that confirmed from the soccer ball was incredible. Now we have a lot of damage coming in. We have a deep breathing Wii Fit going crazy, only at 39%. And so far, So Good Pop is navigating those back airs fantastically. That's the main thing you have to worry about, like saying got a back air range and up air range. Maybe having to worry about side B, but Wii Fit's like positioning when it comes to like hurt box shifting just makes it really hard for Steph to get this stuff going.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like navigating well is kind of like an understatement. SGP has just really not been getting hit by a lot of things altogether. Looking for that grab out of shield. It is ultimate, though, so the likelihood that you'll get that, not very often at all. So right now, SGP locking down the stage again, getting that forward, actually a really good trade, catching that jump. Luna gonna have to go for another low recovery, trying to plank a little bit with Scintilla, waiting, able to neutral, get up, rolls back on, but SGP in the best possible position, a dash back, pivot grab, punish that roll, and Luna has taken so much damage.
Yeah, and still not able to find that stock. I'm actually really shocked that up tilt didn't kill. But the retreating up air is going to do it. That is quietly one of Sephiroth's best moves. Of course, it covers so much space.
It is huge.
It's enormous, and if you know how to like space it properly on the ground, it is a massive threat for your opponent to deal with. Well, all right, we're starting to see some combos come out from Luna. This is looking really good. 56%, hasn't been hit in a while, and we're starting to see them get comfortable, start to space those back airs. But
you didn't even need the second hit. Neutral air 1 or even the second hit of neutral air 2. It does not matter. SGP belligerently able to close it out, but excuse me.
Oh my God, the counter on the Sun Salutation just going to obliterate SGP. SGP was only around like 60-ish%, but the knockback on that was insane. And now we have ourselves a one-stock match. This is already going so much better for the Winthrop team.
In the era of Steves and Kazuya, sometimes you do forget about the rest of the DLC and sometimes how they're able to pop out funny stuff. That is what we in the business call, that specifically, that Scintilla, that is funny stuff.
Yes, the funny business for sure. All right, Luna's been doing a really good job of getting back to the stage. We've seen some unique edge guard attempts from So Good Pop, especially forcing the Sephiroth up B to extend on the soccer ball. That was really smart. We almost saw a huge punish from that at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
But who is going to get the stock lead and put their team up here? Who is it going to be?
Luna seems so much more comfortable playing in and out of SGP's like immediate threat zones, but that might not matter. Octo slashes back onto the stage, able to dash back, tries to go through the cross-up with the dash attack, but SGP just still able to get an out-of-shield punish. Luna just gently trying to get back into that mid-range, going to be avoiding that grab, doesn't want to land and try to whiff punish it in time. A little bit difficult when you are a floaty to execute on that.
Gotta be careful. I was gonna say that shield was getting low.
And
that shield was getting a little bit too low. And I saw that Luna was trying so hard not to like remind So Good Pop that shield was getting low, started to try to space away, but eventually So Good Pop got in there and just did so much more shield damage, especially with just the last little bit of deep breathing, and that is going to do it for Northwood at the beginning of this, and they're going to go up a stock. But I definitely think Luna played that very, very well.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like the Sephiroth a lot more than the Bayonetta, and maybe not just because of the character specifically, but between the two games, right? Between the two that we saw versus the Bayonetta, we simply saw bread and butters, we saw combo starters, we saw Sephiroth fundamentals, specifically the up throw neutral air forwarder. We saw a little bit more comfort playing in front of Wii Fit Trainer, being able to pressure a little bit more with stuff like F-tilt. Luna seemed a lot more comfortable after that first stock was out of the way. We saw Sephiroth stuff, and as a result, So Good Pop already going to be stuck on the last stock here, which is a super different opening than we saw the first crew battle between the two schools.
Yeah, So Good Pop was in complete control. That was a lot more of a nail biter, but honestly, God, I love seeing some really good Smash Bros. And I feel so fortunate
This is
because
good Smash Bros.
This is really good Smash Bros. We're seeing a lot of really good situational awareness. We're seeing some great fundamentals. We're seeing some unique matchups. I am honestly just having a blast here.
Yeah, I'm having a phenomenal time. It is a pleasure to be here. But now we will be waiting on this next match. So I believe this is going to be Tips coming in again. Tips going to be on the Lucina going up against SGP. Now, last time around, Tips was going up against Frostbite, and Frostbite was playing super, super well and just simply not letting Tips play the game. So I am curious to see, what more Tips can show off this time around.
Yeah, it definitely felt like Tips couldn't really get a handle on Frostbite's rhythm. We saw some counters that were misplaced.
Yeah.
I think Tips just couldn't figure out when Frostbite was and wasn't going to rush them down. This is a much slower paced matchup theoretically, so this could be a little bit better for Tips. Also, I think the name Tips is hilarious because, of course, any dedicated Swordy main no longer plays Marth, who has a tipper, but you see Tips going in as Lucina because they're just like, yeah, we tried, but
We gave it a shot.
we gave it a shot.
We made it a
Oh, no! Oh, my God.
An
So Good
attempt
Pop-
we did give it.
So Good Pop just immediately taking the
my
first
God.
stock only at 37%. That was a phenomenal play, going to give Northwood a much bigger lead here.
If I'm So Good Pop, I feel pretty good about that. I'm like, yeah, you know what? At the end of the day, I was able to cheese that stock. And if I'm Tips, I am terrified off stage. I see So Good Pop jump at me like that. I am thinking about that downer, and I am immediately just like, nope, I need to get back on. I need to get back on at all costs.
And this is such a shining example of exactly what we were talking about when those, less meta-traditional characters have that one weird little trick in their bag. I've never seen Wii Fit Trainer do this, neither at Tips, and it doesn't matter because the stock is gone. It's a crew battle format, which from player to player is very unforgiving. And
It's a
that's
huge
where this
wake-up
shines.
call. That's what it is at the end of the day. You just need to be like, okay, you know what? I got cheese out of that stock. I got to make sure that I'm not wasting my double jump. Got to make sure that I'm looking out for the Wii Fit Trainer on top of me. So Good Pop going to be looking for that same header. Not going to be able to find it, though.
Yeah. Ironically, I expected to see Tips kind of struggling, trying to find hits on So Good Pop while So Good Pop is at the ledge. But honestly, So Good Pop has just been ledge trapping Tips for a long time. That up B out of shield, of course, very fast, immediately invincible, super smart defensive option for Lucina. It's something you always have to get matchup checked on. I remember seeing Proto Bantam at Summit do it 9 times the same match. It was if you're not punishing it, why would you stop doing it?
And now Tips getting a couple big juggles going, right? Good amount of damage. Love that way. Tips has been going for a lot of shields, especially after they land. So Good Pop able to now capitalize on that, rolling right into the Sun Salutation, but honestly, it didn't KO, so it might not matter at all. Waiting a little bit, mixing up the timing, looking to catch that jump. So Good Pop a little bit too early on it, and Tips made it back on for just a second. Now, you're stuck on the left side of the stage, the header gets sent all the way out there, and Tips able to make it back onto center because So Good Pop just whiffed that dash grab.
I think we need to see Tips find some semblance of control. It feels like, oh, whoa, DI check. DI check right there. Unfortunate stuff for Tips. Was not expecting that back
press a
throw.
button check, like a double jump,
Right,
or
yeah.
something.
I think what's happening is that Tips is consistently playing the other person's game. You can tell that Tips is just kind of letting Wii Fit get a lot of this spacing going with those headers. We're letting Wii Fit get a lot of shield pressure when, again, we do have up B out of shield, which is a huge get off me button. And Tips just has to find some kind of way to take the stock and stop the bleeding because right now Northwood is looking really good. It's,
Tips just
10
needs
stocks to
anything
7.
at this point, right? An F tilt, an up smash, an F smash, just about anything. But you whiff an up B like that at the edge of the stage, and it can be really dangerous. SGP now going to be eating that up tilt, looking for a way to be able to come back down here, stalling again with the header, even if it doesn't pop out a projectile, makes it onto the ledge, drop down double jump header, nice little tricky, unique ledge option, catching that jump. That is a nasty place to be in, and that goal keeps getting caught.
Yeah, Tips finally fighting back to the neutral air, but not able to find the stop.
Oh, no.
Header going to put Tips in a terrible position. Finally makes it back. I saw the So Good Pop, was not expecting the roll, but Tips did go for the roll in again, was able to save their life because otherwise I think they would have died if they just did neutral get up right there. But yeah, So Good Pop taking 5 stocks. Tips finally getting some damage on the board here. This is looking really good for Northwood.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really good to see like Tips like a little bit more confident than last game, able to get something going, able to get that stock off as well. But I just feel like I don't know, Tips is like getting like called out on like one double jump off stage, or just like maybe one disadvantage option, and then just sort of losing their stock like a little bit sooner than anticipated. And I just feel like you have to figure out how to actually close as Lucina, which can be a little bit difficult. Sometimes you have to like really think about the way that you can pressure somebody with your position as Lucina. She has fairly linear and predictable options.
Yes.
Right? You're thinking like, okay, F tilt, sword swings, I got to sit in shield a little bit more. She can't kill me if I'm going to be sitting in shield. You have to use your movement to bait somebody out of their defensive options. For instance, you're Lucina, dash in, dash out, see what they do. If they go in, hey, you know what? Maybe you can react to that and get something like an upbeat. Dash in, dash out, and they jump. Maybe you can go for like a back air at some point. And I feel like Tips could be like a little bit just more fluid in that movement.
Yeah, I think one of the places where Lucina really can shine and start taking those earlier stocks that we saw, ironically enough, is a drop zone back air, and Wii Fit Trainer is consistently in a position where he should be in danger of that. Like, I saw that Tips was at like 150, and I think So Good Pop had burned his jump was at like 40. I'm like, go off. Go down there and like secure that stock. You're not going to make it back, but there's no button that Wii Fit can press to like survive. So sometimes you got to make those crazy plays, but yeah, Lucina, she's not going to like necessarily like fully just rush you down. You're right, and that she does get a lot of mileage out of just like conditioning and like fundies. But if So Good Pop was able to just consistently keep spacing with those projectiles, she's not really playing that game. Now this is going to be different. Of course, we do have a battle, a very weird spacing battle when it comes to like Seth and Lucina. If she's able to stay in this space closer, I feel like she can get a lot of mileage. She's going to have to be really careful. But Tips does have only one stock, and we saw that. Oh no, we didn't see the sensational Sephiroth just yet. Last time we saw the Falcon. So I actually don't have any data on what this character is going to play like for him.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. This is getting difficult. Sensational, Sephiroth. My lips are really not able to comprehend this one, man. There's way too many similar consonants and sounds and too many puns. But right now, sensational, looking sensational, getting that up throw and into finally the side B coming into play here, already dealing 50% and able to get that parry, catching the landing. Tips has been just getting...
Jump scare. Jump scare. I thought that down smash was going to do it for sure. All right, there we go. You're starting to see Tips go for those like drop zone fairs and bears. That's where Lucina shines. That's where she steals those
bold to do that against Sephiroth.
You got to know. Like, it's good that they were able to make it back unpunished, but that is one of the scariest positions you can be in against Lucina. Now, in an almost similar battle, that same mid-range is being covered with Sephiroth back air and side B. You have to respect both of them. And if Tips continues to like respect those,
And speaking of good respect, mind you, that was fantastic respect on the Octo Slash. If a Sephiroth is stuck at the ledge, they want one thing only, and that is to plank with their funny little options. So Tip sat there, sat in shield, and then was able to get that F smash as Sensational was coming back onto the stage. That was really good patience and just really good respect of the matchup, really good respect of Sephiroth as a character.
Now, I will say at this point, take your time. Take your time, bestie. That's scary. This is scary. This is a scary situation to be in. The down-angled forward tilt actually sent Lucina at an angle she just couldn't recover from. That's a tough situation to get in, though. Like, normally characters can come back fast and really don't have to deal with that full charge neutral B, but if you are sitting in it, you kind of have to drop from ledge. You can't really jump. You can't roll. You can't get up attack. All that stuff is covered. And I like the Sensational. Not only had all the hitboxes active from that, he also had the forward tilt out just in case the timing was off, and it was just a little bit too much for Tips to bear at that moment.
Such is the tragedy of not playing a fast follower, somebody that just doesn't get back onto stage quickly, because you're like, you know what, even if I theoretically have good recovery options to make it back on, by that time, Sephiroth fully capable of pitching a tent, getting nice and cozy with the fire of his menacing neutral B. Sephiroth is able to set up, and there is truthfully nothing that Lucina can do to prevent Sephiroth from setting up other than just don't get hit off stage. Well, that's it.
All you can really do. That's all you can really do.
But now we're going to be getting back into CJ Frozen, the snake from last time around, who almost clutched it back for the school, but then it ended up being a little bit too late. Now we're going to be seeing him come in a little bit sooner than last time, and I'm just excited to see him have, like, I don't know, a little bit more time to shine.
Exactly. One thing that is going to be tricky here, Sephiroth is very good against Snake. Snake in the air is just, he really struggles to land against this character because up air and back air just cover so much space all at once, and Snake doesn't have a lot of horizontal momentum. Yeah, he can be your verse C4. There's some trixies here and there, but up air covers pretty much everything. So this could be a tough one. Like, I don't think CJ Frozen's going to get to come in as comfortably as we saw earlier.
Yeah, no, not at all. But right now, CJ Frozen just patrolling the ground, setting up a lot of grenades, trying to force Sensational, landing, able to space out that down tilt as well, and capitalizing off of that grenade. That was beautiful. Sephiroth stuck in that down tilt animation, ended up hitting the grenade. It still exploded. It still detonated because he didn't pick it up. He was a little bit too far back, and CJ Frozen was in the best place at the best possible time. That was the epitome of situational awareness.
Absolutely. I like the timing on that. Trying to get some extra shield pressure with that up B with the Sephiroth side B lingering around him, but was off on the timing, got tagged by the grenade, and just didn't find the punish that he was looking for. CJ Frozen still looking really good. Oh, but that down smash is going to really take him out of his comfort zone there. But the forward air is going to steal that stock from Sensational, and Frozen is going to turn things around for Winthrop almost immediately. Fantastic play from Frozen.
That was thievery. He stole that.
Oh my god.
That was not supposed to be a stock, at least not in that fashion. That was not supposed to be his edge guard, and I see him. He looks good about that. Honestly, I would feel pretty good if I hit that forwarder as well. That should have been, for all intents and purposes, mind you, Sephiroth's forwarder. That should have been the edge guard. That should have been the big long sword to the face.
Oh, give
but
me
alas,
this replay.
Oh, absolutely.
Give me this replay, baby.
I want to see this one more time, please. So first the shoes, stabbed, gone, totally.
Oh my god. And the
little bit
little
too high
extra
up.
damage with the grenade just dunking you in the head, like, but you didn't see this coming. I love that play. We were talking about crew battle specials, because that situation was, Sake wouldn't have been able to recover from that, but, like, you weren't ready for it, and now that stock is gone. Now the momentum is on the other team's hands.
Such is the tragedy for committing and missing an edge guard, right? Because, you know, Seth did have the right idea. Seth was like, okay, I'm going to be able to get something with my forwarder, and then just ended up whiffing it a little bit too high. Snake was down a little bit too low, and CJ was right there and was like, oh no, you've whiffed a button in my face. Oh goodness, oh me, oh my. What could I possibly do with this?
Man, you hate to see it happen.
Well,
but
you'd love to see it.
Well,
depending.
I love to see it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, on the receiving end, you hate it, because I've killed as early as like 17% with that Snake forward air before. It is.
Do you feel good doing it? How's it feel?
Oh,
How's
it was
feel?
against a Lucas. I have no sympathy. I'm glad it happened to you, and I'll do it again. But Frozen just looking fantastic. So now we're going to have 6 stocks. Again, very even matchup this time.
yeah.
K-Rule versus Snake, and they're going to have to play fully fair on.
It's going to be the gun back, and this time CJ Frozen has 3 stocks to play with, so the question is, can Kopel still assert the same dominance that he did last time around, or with this extra couple of stocks, is CJ Frozen going to be able to showcase a little bit more? Going for all these up throws? Okay, I love these landing options, of course, classic. Grenades and C4, keep yourself safe all the way down to the ground.
Oh, keep yourself safe on the way to the ground. Got it.
Yes.
Sorry. Took me a minute to translate that. I was thinking something different. So that's what I was talking. I called that. I called that last match. I said exactly that happens to Snake in this matchup. Fantastic play from Kopel. I love that he is forcing him in the air.
I wouldn't do that again.
I would go for it again.
If I was CJ Frozen, I would be very discouraged from doing so.
Oh
And
my
listen,
God.
as soon as you can discourage Snake from going up high with Cypher, all of a sudden, his most dangerous recovery mix-up is no longer an option.
Kopel is running away with this so quickly. Such early stocks taken for the Winthrop team. Kopel playing amazing. His main MO is to keep Snake off the ground, so whether it is repeated up airs or up throws or just throwing him off stage, either way, he's finding everything he needs right here. CJ Frozen cannot find any momentum here. Kopel at 121%, honestly not even bad. Might even living up to it if he's crazy enough.
Snakes
But
can't fly.
no.
He's trying to, make sure that he is kept in the air as much as possible. Kopel is not letting CJ Frozen on the ground.
Oh, no way! 85%? Crimes are happening from the Northwood team. He is playing this. He played that matchup perfectly. I'm so sorry.
Kopel saw that spike last game and said, hey, what did you just do to my teammate? How did you just get that stock with forwarder? That was not supposed to be yours. So, on that second stock, that Cypher was not.
Dang, it'd be like that sometimes.
Just got to hold that.
Just gotta hold that. You just gotta hold that. Sometimes that happens.
Now, this is, if there is a character that can do this against King K. Rool, that can actually, really make this huge comeback for their school, it's going to be no tag, especially with Mario. If you consider a lot of King K. Rool's options, the number one thing in neutral, aside from Cannonball, aside from his dash attack, he sets up space with Crown. He sets up space with Crown to force you to pick an option, and then he takes that space away from you to shove you into the corner. Mario, simply by virtue of having Cape, nice and accessible little option, you can shoot that Crown all the way back to King K. Rool before he can pop out a down B of his own and reflect it. Also, hey, it's Mario versus a super heavy. It's going to be combo central. As soon as No Tag finds that one opening, if No Tag gets the stage counter pick again, man, big combos, big damage, big stocks off the top.
I imagine we're going back to Yoshi's for something like this, right? Or either Yoshi's
I heard the
Battlefield?
Pokemon music.
Pokemon stage. Pokemon Stadium, excuse me. Now, I kind of want to guess my crazy prediction is we're going to see some double reflector shenanigans and somebody's going to die in like 5. Because
Somebody's
K. Rool
going to get
can
hit by
also-
something silly.
Something silly's going to happen. Calling that right now.
Oh, yeah. But right now, NoTech just being so patient with this opening. Ooh! Okay, nice little forwarded, but not enough knockback to launch the Meteor Blast line, which is that like secret blast zone that happens if you get spiked early. But this one, not going to be able to do it either. But look at all of this damage from NoTech.
Yeah, NoTag is playing amazing. Copel has not been able to find his way to the center. Just getting trapped by these falling up airs, these nairs, forward airs. Honestly, everything Mario wants is just happening over and over again. Rolling in, every option is just being systematically punished one by one, and NoTag is playing phenomenal on this first stop.
And look at how much just NoTag is not pressing immediately, always saying, hey, I can double jump, I can delay, I can stall this option a little tiny bit. NoTag taking that first stock off, only 47% to his name, being so patient for this next opening, but now you're going to be stuck at the ledge against King K. Rool, but that down is so much shield stuff.
Oh my god. Look, I don't know if NoTag has like a Sharingan or something. I don't know what's going on with his eyes, but he's reading everything. He punished every single ledge option you can choose.
NoTag is so good.
He's so good. He's so solid. Oh, but he SD'd, was a little bit too low on that recovery.
The idea was cute. The idea was cute to be able to still punish King K. Rool coming back onto the stage after going for an edge guard attempt. I liked it. Alas, NoTag did lose a stock for it, but this could be a forward, and that's going to be the Meteor Blast line. That second secret blast zone that's a little bit higher up. That's like, hey, why did I die to that spike? Because Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, baby.
I'm glad you bring that up because I have a lot of trauma from dying real early to some down airs in this game. So yeah, that must be why. That's got to be it.
It's rough out here. There's really nothing that you can do about that. But what an optimal punish. Copel, as soon as he finds that opening with the side B into the jab, they already have that combo ready.
Into the what? Into the forward air? Getting walked all the way around the stage. NoTag bringing this back, playing amazing, using PS2, the least scary Mario stage, I thought, and just running wild on that stock. Phenomenal play. 3 stocks to 2 for Winthrop. What a way to stay alive, and what a way to assert dominance if you're NoTag right now.
That was not supposed to happen.
No.
Did you smell an up B? I smelled an up B. I smell maybe perhaps another up air. The idea of going for, was that forward air fake? Kind of. I do believe that you're able to air dodge out of that, but NoTag has established the amount of shield resets that he has gone for, the amount of times that he's waited for that kind of a defensive option, and damn, that was incredible.
That was
so good.
It's so smart, too, because if you're the person on the receiving end of that, you're drifting away to make sure up B and down air, the two most threatening things, do not connect. But as you're drifting away, you know what was in position? That forward air. That was insanely smart from NoTag. I am loving this match.
Yeah, this is cool.
This is so good.
This is a good crew battle. I am thoroughly enjoying myself. So now NoTag, of course, is going to have to forfeit one of these stocks, and the stakes are high. You need to win this. This is so doable compared to last time around, but if Winthrop loses this, if NoTag loses this, that's going to be it, and that's going to be Northwood going up over them.
Yeah, a lot resting on your shoulders right now. And Frostbite is no easy player to just sneak up on. He's very, very good, as we saw earlier.
Especially against somebody like Roy. At some point, with one good goal lead, he can just take your stock off at 50, but that's going to be the down air as a bit of a DI check, and somebody failed that DI check, but luckily, a couple percent too early to get cheesed.
Yeah, he was literally maybe 5% maximum away from dying right there. But finds the side B,
the
of course.
B?
The giant B, right. Frostbite just making up some new stuff here. Okay. Had just enough rage to really make that count, too. That was incredibly important.
Yeah, beautiful down tilt into the back hill. Tries to use the fireball. Goes out there. NoTag is really committing to these edge guards. Such optimal little punishes as well. Gets that up smash call out. Beautiful use of it as an anti-air. But now you're down 1 to 2 stocks. You're getting hit by the neutral air. You're getting tech chase and you're eating so much more. NoTag, how do you get out of this advantage?
Yeah, what do you do? And how do you stay safe against a character like this? Because honestly, Roy's advantage is so easy to start. He gets so much damage every time. No shot. No shot. Okay, that better not kill his 68%.
That early up B was so smart, just still able to just barely clip Frostbite. NoTag is still alive. Rolls out that time around. This is so tense, man.
I'm so scared. NoTag, what do you do? He's in the house, NoTag. Where do you go? This is so scary.
But look how patient Frostbite is in disadvantage as well. Not going for any hasty directional air dodges. Tries to go for a bit of a cheeky tech chase on that platform that was unsuccessful. NoTag dashing in, dashing out. Beautiful neutral air reset, but not able to find it.
I like the patience, though. Oh, but the up tilt out of shield is actually going to do it. And as hard-fought as everything was, and as incredible as this crew battle was, and you definitely see a little bit of disappointment on NoTag's face, Northwood takes it, and honestly, I had a blast watching that. That was just some phenomenal Smash Brothers.
My heart is racing. I'm like trying to take a second to just breathe after that set because I wanted to see that set 3 so bad. I wanted to see that third crew battle so bad. But alas, it is going to go to them. Beautiful, beautiful stuff to Frostbite for being able to hold that down. And you could even feel the fear. Despite how good No Tag was playing, you could tell that he was a little bit afraid. You can tell a little bit of like those like whiff dash grabs, a lot of those like whiffed options, and those like attempted resets and maybe not able to actually get those platform extensions. Everybody played so good this crew battle.
And what I love is that like it wasn't like No Tag made like big cheesy mistakes like, you know, upbeat the wrong way or did something. It was really, really subtle stuff like landing a little bit too close to the ledge while Frostbite was looking for side Bs. It was just, you know, hitting his shield and not being safe because up tilt on his shield could take a stock. These were both very talented players that I think were just looking for the smallest mistakes. Honestly, I know I would have got cooked against either of them personally. There's
absolutely.
no way. They were on the hunt for the smallest mistakes.
They were so good. But before we do actually jump on over to Polly, I just have one like quick little mention. I want to talk about that jab from Frostbite for a second. That jab from Frostbite into the side B, I don't think that was real. I just want to talk about like that situation that it kind of put No Tag in. You get jabbed by Roy. A lot of the times they're trying to condition you to maybe like air dodge so they can pop out like with an F smash read. So even if that jab into the side B wasn't necessarily true, it is not necessarily in No Tag's favor to be mashing air dodge out of a situation like that, right? Because hey, you could get led really hard, and that is a very common thing for Roy to mix up between.
Yeah, it's actually insane how much conditioning this character gets off of a single button because it was just a situation before. You get jabbed, you think you're going to get hit with the back air, and you're DIing away before it comes and trying to make sure it misses. You're looking for like the most optimal punish, but he knows that No Tag doesn't want to be in that position, so going for the side B, which is an even stronger punish, was just incredibly smart by Frostbite.
Yeah. Well, it was a true combo. Whichever option it was. But with that being said, we're going to quickly jump on over to Polly for the player interview. Polly, take it away.
Take it away.
Thank you so much. Welcome. I am here with Frostbite from Northwood University. You just upset the 4 seed there as the 5. Please tell everybody in the crowd, take us through the emotion, what the team's talking about, and the mindset through that match.
Oh gosh. Okay, so we knew going in that it was going to be pretty difficult. You know, there's a lot of good players on that team, but I thought we had a pretty good like character spread going into it. So before the event, we made a plan and we stuck to the plan, and plan worked out. So.
Excellent. Well, you're advancing on, you're practiced, you're well rehearsed. Tell the team here and tell the crowd a little bit of what went into the practice regimen coming into the CECC for Northwood.
Well, we just made sure to play, you know, all week, make sure that we weren't rusty. You know, we've been slacking some weeks, but not this week, you know, because this is a big event, very important to us. And, you know, we made sure that we knew which characters we wanted to go into or which characters we wanted to avoid, and we made plans based around that, and, yeah, just stuck to it.
All right, well, good luck, Northwood and Frostbite and the rest of the competition. They're just getting started here at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Des, back to you. But when we come back, me and Kari are going to head on down to the pit and show you around the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Des, back to you.
Thank you, Paulie. And wow, what a series it was. I thought that was going to go the distance. I thought we were going to get a third set, but sadly not the case. A beautiful run from both of these teams, and I definitely want to get into the mix of it. And I think it comes down to a little bit of the composition, but more importantly, the lineup and the order of matches. Miles, kicking it over you to start things off. What is the importance of player lineup in a crew battle?
Well, in a crew battle, you're going to be seeing a lot of counter picks because whoever counter picks, they get to choose the stage that they're going to be playing on. Simple rule set stuff right there. This comes down to data. You're going to be seeing people preparing specifically to take on certain players, and if they beat that player, great. You did what you were supposed to. But anytime that plan goes off the rails, then all of a sudden you're going to be seeing improvisation from these teams. You're going to be seeing these teams scramble to try to find an answer to this mislaid plan, get back on track, and as we saw right there, Northwood just was able to force Winthrop just a little bit too far off that track.
And how do we really set things off? What's the tone? What is the importance of the first matchup in the entire set? Chixa.
You know, as you saw in Northwood, that Wii Fit trainer came out both times to start it off by So Good Pop, and he constantly was pushing his agenda onto that Winthrop team. He was getting really good early kills, really good stock, really out of him in particular, getting entire 3 stocks at a time. that the other team would have to counter pick, like Miles was saying, and that counter pick advantage constantly was on Northwood's side because the first pick was always won on the side of Northwood. So it was really cool to see that WeFit trainer do a lot of work on the field. I was thoroughly impressed by just his consistency throughout game 1 and game number 2.
I want to dig deeper into that, a little bit further into the counter pick, specifically from Winthrop and the versatility that we saw. I believe it was from Luna who was shaking up the system. Artie, what did you see that you liked from the counter picks?
Well, in the first series, we saw the Lucia pick, and we swapped over instead to the Sephiroth in the second game, which I felt like definitely demonstrated just the depth of characters that Winthrop could actually pull out. But more importantly, not just Winthrop, but coming in from the side of Northwood, we had that final matchup, Frostbite again going against No Tag. And honestly, like, Mario is the character that you get in a combo, you're going to die at any point in time. You need to be able to anticipate that combo and counter it. But what I really liked seeing from Frostbite in that situation was Frostbite's counterplay was, I'm going to play patiently and wait for you to fall into my own trap, and I'm not letting you get your hands on me. And that type of patience, not only in Series 1, but to go into Series 2 and kind of set No Tag into this panic mode of, I have to make something happen because you're not going to do it for me, is really what I think allowed Frostbite to turn things in his favor.
And that speaks a bit more on the importance of player order. If you have Frostbite, the final boss waiting for you at the end of the series, you know, you want to keep as many stocks as you can. And I think we did see the good moment of No Tag faced off against Koppel. Heavy character against Mario. That's going to be a bad time all around. But aside from No Tag and Frostbite, there is one player I would like to discuss and give a little bit of flowers, though there was a struggle of a performance early on, and it's got to be Tips. Tips had one job, and that was to survive, take a stock, do whatever you can to try and set up the rest of Winthrop to walk out of this one. And you know, I gotta give my flowers. That's who I'm saying is third in line for MVP.
I could agree with that.
Tips really was dealt a very rough hand to try and work with. They didn't really have any matchups that clearly won. They didn't really have any opportunities to get early kills, and every single player on Northwood demonstrated the ability to score those early KOs, early points for their team. And the fact that Tips just wasn't able to find any opportunities to do it, they tried really hard, but it was always a war of attrition, and when you're just randomly losing a battle, you're never going to lose the war or win the war in the long run.
Well, at the end of the day, I feel like we have to crown our MVP for this crew battle. And, you know, I just want to say, I hate to be right. You know, it's heavy lies the crown on my head of the correct predictions. It was Northwood who came out on top. You're staring at me like you hate me right now, Artie. I don't know why you're doing that.
Such a heavy burden to be right. It's like this person is oozing over here right now.
of making a pick that some people would have expected. But I got to say, from Northwood, we have to chalk it up. Frostbite MVP of this series. Absolute 6 stocks from the first series. And just to lock it down in set number 2, who else is going to take it away?
Yeah. Frostbite was so immensely impactful because of the answer they provided to No Tag. No Tag, I mean, talk about the king. We saw how deadly Koppel was, but Koppel was kept in check because they couldn't put Koppel out because they knew as soon as Koppel came out, No Tag would follow and wipe that K-roll off the board. We saw that in the second crew battle. They tried so hard to hold on to Koppel because as soon as Koppel came out, No Tag was to follow. No Tag took them out, only dropping 1 stock. Then the answer becomes, how do you deal with this incredibly powerful counter pick that is No Tag? And in this arms race, Frostbite was the ultimate trump card. Was not only able to handle No Tag, was able to handle that player who's dictating the entire flow of counter picks, but was also able to take 6 stocks on their own, going past their initial usefulness in the first crew battle. Clutching out at the end, making a big impact in the first crew battle. You cannot ask for more from a player. Frostbite is our MVP from Northwood.
Without a doubt. I mean, if there was someone else in contention, we were debating while the match was going on. It's like, if this goes the way of Winthrop, it's got to be No Tag. If this goes the way of Northwood, it has to be Frostbite. And I think it was almost like the duel of fates having them at the very end. And you spoke to, with the lack of resources behind, it's so tough to try and stay alive, and we have this matchup once again This is the Smoothie King Cool replay of the match. Now, this certainly was a devastating moment.
Oh. Yeah, that one right there. Hard read from Frostbite. They just demolished them because they caught No Tag in a panic situation. And here's even more from Frostbite, showing what they got. That was a 3-stock, by the way. We only saw the last stock, but that was Frostbite running house.
Yeah, there he is. A little replay of the not a huge celebration, just a minor confirmation of yeah, we did it.
Well, there's more to play. Absolutely. Gotta keep going.
Yeah.
If you get too hyped up right now, if you get to Paulie's level of hype off your first game, you're gonna be running into some problems later on.
I think so. And you know, I want to take a look to the future, Miles. How do you think this bracket is really gonna run out? How far do you expect Northwood to take this?
I think Winthrop still has a serious chance at making it out, but Northwood has shown that they are able to punch above their weight. I mean, even though it's a difference of like 4 or 5 seed, this is still upsetting someone slightly above you. Northwood is known for that, and we talked about sometimes inconsistencies, and they talked about in the interview. Sometimes during the school year, during the regular season, they didn't always have time to get fully prepared, but here they are, they're prepared. They've played through a lot of finals recently, and here is the king of them all. They're looking to take their throne, but it's not going to be easy. They have they've done the closest to ever taking down Fisher College, but they haven't actually done it yet. A lot of other teams pose major problems for them, and now Northwood, because they've just been on stream, have a target on their backs. People have just seen that they are a major threat here. The rest of this weekend is going to be hard, but I think Northwood might have what it takes.
I mean, you know, that was such an empowering speech. I feel like, I guess this is, I was right. I had to pick them.
No one can argue. You're just, hey, have you ever gotten anything wrong? No one has the broadcast, so no one can tell, so you can just be honest.
You know, if I'm going to keep it a buck, a stack 100 and real, no. I've always had the correct predictions. I think we only did predictions one time on the desk, so I think we got that 100% win rate, right?
Sure. And the sauce, too.
The sauce? Was this a ranch game? Do you feel that it was ranch? Would you guys agree?
I think it was more on the tangy barbecue side.
Yeah, this was the meat, because this could have, in another world, in another seeding, this could have very easily been finals. And the fact that this is happening so early speaks to how stacked this entire tournament is with good players. The fact that these teams are meeting so early on in the bracket. Pools are so competitive. Bracket tomorrow is going to be even more competitive, and I can't wait to see it. Tangy barbecue.
I mean, as you said, this is the 4th and 5th seed. We don't know. We haven't seen on broadcast 1, 2, and 3 the top teams to make it into this amazing situation, these finals, these land opportunities, and I can't wait to throw them on the stage, watch them duke it out. There's so much more fun to be had here at the CECC 2023 finals here in Texas, presented by McDonald's of North Texas. But we're going to head over to that McDonald's booth in just a touch, so don't go anywhere. There's plenty of action here at the arena. We're kicking it to Paulie Hype.